Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Always excited to explore these fascinating texts.
Well, today we're looking at the Brahma Purana.
Oh, a classic.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we got some really interesting selections from you listeners, focusing on the Purushottama Kshetra temple, and then all these rituals with bathing in the ocean and this Indrahanu Sarovar.
The sacred pond.
Right. Exactly. And then, of course, the whole significance of Jyeshtha Purnima.
Lots to unpack there.
There is. So we're going to really try to break down why these practices are considered so powerful.
Yes.
And what the Brahma Purana really says about all the benefits you're supposed to get from them.
It's fascinating how the text kind of brings together geography, cosmology, and ritual.
Yeah.
It really emphasizes, it's not just about what you do, but where and when you do it.
It's all connected.
Yeah, exactly, to achieve that spiritual liberation or moksha.
So let's start with this Purushottama Kshetra.
Okay.
What makes it more than just, a temple?
Well, the text calls it the realm of the supreme being. So it's considered like the ultimate pilgrimage site.
Okay.
And it's so sacred that just by visiting and worshiping Lord Purushottama there,
Who is?
who is an aspect of Vishnu,
Okay.
you're already setting yourself on that path to liberation.
Just by being there.
Just by being there, yeah.
Wow. And it seems like the ocean plays a pretty big role, too.
Oh, definitely.
But it's not just, a quick dip in the waves.
No. It's much more than that.
The whole thing.
The Brahma Purana really stresses approaching the ocean with this reverence,
Okay.
recognizing it as a life giver, a purifier.
Interesting.
You even pray to the ocean before entering, acknowledging its power.
Oh, wow.
It's about aligning your intention with the act.
So it's not just like the physical act of going into the water.
Exactly.
It's like the mental and spiritual prep that really matters.
That's where the real transformation begins.
So what does the Brahma Purana actually say this achieves for somebody? What do you actually get out of it?
Well, it promises freedom from sins, freedom from suffering, and even ascension to Vishnu's abode.
Oh, wow.
But it gets even more interesting when you look at the timing.
Okay, this is where I was getting excited.
Yeah.
Because the text really singles out certain days as extra potent
Oh, absolutely.
for these rituals.
Yeah, it highlights eclipses, solstices, and full moon days.
I feel like that comes up a lot.
It does, right?
In a lot of different traditions.
Yeah, because these times are seen as cosmically charged moments.
Okay.
They amplify the effects of any spiritual actions you take.
It's like the universe is giving you a boost.
Exactly, like it's lending a hand.
So if you're smart and you plan your pilgrimage strategically, you could kind of maximize your spiritual rewards.
You could say that.
Almost like cosmic couponing.
Haha. I like that. But, it speaks to a deeper idea here.
What's that?
The Brahma Purana is suggesting that we're not separate from the cosmos, but part of this grand interconnected system. Our actions, they resonate more powerfully when they're aligned with these greater cycles.
It's not just superstition. It's like tapping into something bigger.
Exactly. You're in sync with the universe.
That's really cool. And that brings us to the Indrahanu Sarovar.
Yes, the sacred pond.
Which is said to have emerged from this Ashvamedha yagna.
Which is a legendary horse sacrifice.
Okay, intense. So bathing in this pond is supposed to be super potent.
Incredibly potent, yeah.
So what's the actual ritual here? Is it similar to the ocean bathing?
There are similarities for sure, but there's also unique elements.
Okay.
So you purify yourself mentally first.
Okay.
You invoke Lord Hari.
Another name for Vishnu.
That's right, another name for Vishnu. And you recite a specific mantra as you enter the pond.
So again, aligning mind, body, and action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Holistic thing.
I'm sensing a theme here.
What's that?
The Brahma Purana really emphasizes the internal aspect of these rituals.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just the outward motions.
It's what's going on inside that truly matters.
So after bathing, are there other things you're supposed to do?
Yeah, there are offerings to deities, ancestors, and all beings.
Wow.
There's offering of pinda or rice balls to your ancestors.
Okay.
And then worship of Lord Purushottama, of course.
It's like a whole ceremony.
It is a very comprehensive ritual.
So what's the ultimate claim about the benefits? What does the Brahma Purana say you get out of all this?
It says this ritual grants you the benefit of 10 Ashvamedha yagnas.
Whoa, 10!
Yeah. Imagine the power of 10 of those horse sacrifices.
That's a lot.
It's huge. It elevates 7 generations of your ancestors and descendants.
Wow.
And ultimately, it leads to Vishnu's abode, which is liberation from the cycle of birth and death.
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack. We've covered sacred sites, potent rituals,
Mm-hmm.
but there's one piece of the puzzle missing still.
And what's that?
The importance of Jyeshtha Purnima.
Ah, yes.
Why is this specific full moon so important?
Well, that's where the Brahma Purana gets even more specific about cosmic alignment.
Okay.
It says that during the week leading up to Jyeshtha Purnima,
Mm-hmm.
all the sacred waters of Earth converge at Purushottama Kshetra.
Whoa, so they're all going to this one place.
All the sacred waters. Imagine that concentrated energy.
That's wild. So all these benefits we've been talking about,
Yes.
freedom from sin, elevated ancestors, reaching Vishnu's abode,
Mm-hmm.
they're all like supercharged during this time.
Exactly. It's like a spiritual power surge.
And even within that week,
Yes.
Jyeshtha Shukla Dashami, the 10th day,
Mhm.
is highlighted as being able to absolve 10 sins.
It's a very powerful day.
And if you control your senses and witness the deities on that day,
You attain liberation.
wow, this is a lot. We've gone from the ocean to a sacred pond to this incredibly specific time frame.
It's a journey.
It's a lot. It seems like Jyeshtha Purnima is like the VIP access to liberation.
It certainly seems that way, and the Brahma Purana dives even deeper,
Oh, no.
detailing which specific days within this period are associated with unique rewards.
I think we're not done yet. There's
Okay.
even more layers to this cosmic calendar. But before we go further, I think we need to just pause for a sec
Oh.
and just think about what we've learned so far, what really stands out to you about the Brahma Purana's approach to spiritual liberation.
Well, what I find fascinating is how it combines physical actions with intention, inner purity, and alignment with these cosmic forces.
Yeah,
It's a very holistic approach.
it really is.
It suggests that our journey to liberation involves every aspect of our being, you know?
It's not just one thing.
No, it's everything working together.
It's mind, body, and spirit.
Exactly.
It's amazing how the Brahma Purana lays out this whole system for spiritual growth.
It's really intricate.
It is. But you mentioned that Jyeshtha Purnima isn't the only time the cosmos aligns like this.
Right. There are other key points in the year that are seen as like gateways to Vishnu's realm.
Okay.
So we have the solstices, for example,
Okay.
the start and end of Uttarayana and Dakshinayana.
So those moments when the sun seems to stand still,
Exactly, before shifting direction.
those are pretty powerful times in a lot of cultures, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense. They'd be spiritually significant too.
Absolutely. And then we have Falguna Purnima,
Which is?
the full moon of the Falguna month,
Okay.
which often coincides with Halayu.
Oh, right. The
Yeah.
festival.
Yeah, this celebration of spring and renewal.
So we're seeing a pattern here with full moons.
Definitely, full moons are very significant.
It's not just about the moon either.
Right.
The spring equinox, or Vishuva, is also mentioned.
Wow, that's time of balance between day and night.
Seems to be important for reaching spiritual equilibrium.
Exactly. It's about finding that harmony.
It's interesting how the Brahma Purana brings together these celestial events
Mm-hmm.
with spiritual practice.
It's highlighting this core concept in Hinduism,
It is.
the interconnectedness of everything.
We talk about that a lot.
We do. It's a fundamental idea.
So we're not separate from nature cycles.
Nope, we're participants in this grand cosmic dance.
I like that. And even Vaishakha Krishna Tritiya is singled out.
Oh.
Okay, now that one sounds super specific.
It is right.
Why that particular day?
It's hard to say for sure, but it could be related to the lunar cycle.
And its influence on spiritual energies.
Mhm.
Remember, in the Hindu calendar, even the phases of the moon have meaning.
Right, so every little detail matters.
Exactly. It's all part of the bigger picture.
So with all these power dates, does Jyeshtha Purnima still hold a special place?
It does. The Brahma Purana actually calls Jyeshtha Purnima Mahashtami,
Oh, wow.
which emphasizes its significance.
Okay.
And it claims that witnessing the deities on this day,
Mm.
especially when it aligns with the Jyeshtha constellation, grants like a really exceptional boon.
What's so special about this alignment?
Well, it's said to liberate 21 generations of your ancestors
Whoa, 21.
and secure your own place in Vishnu's abode.
That's quite the family reunion.
It is, but it speaks to that interconnectedness, you
Yeah.
know, not just with the cosmos, but with our lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Our actions have ripple effects.
It's not just about us.
No, it's about those who came before and those who will come after.
Makes you think about the legacy we leave behind.
Definitely spiritually speaking. And the text directly compares the benefits of Mahashtami
Yes.
to those gained from rituals at other holy sites,
Like Prayag and Kurukshetra.
and even during eclipses.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate spiritual power move.
So the Brahma Purana really presents this as a culmination,
Mm-hmm.
like the peak experience.
You could say that, but it's crucial to remember
What's that?
that the text always emphasizes inner purity and self-control.
Right. It's not just about the externals.
Exactly. You can't just show up at the right place at the right time.
You got to do the inner work, too.
You got to cultivate the right state of mind.
So think of it like this.
Okay.
The rituals and pilgrimages are like the tools.
Okay.
The cosmic alignments are the opportunities. But the real work is that inner transformation.
That's where the true liberation lies.
And this brings us to a key question for our listeners.
What's that?
How do we connect these ancient practices to our modern lives?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Because not all of us can just hop on a plane to Purushottama Kshetra.
Right.
Exactly.
Every auspicious occasion.
That's where the metaphorical interpretation comes in.
Okay, I like that.
So think of Purushottama Kshetra as representing a state of spiritual awareness,
Okay.
a connection to the divine.
You can access that through your own practices.
Exactly. Whether it's meditation prayer or spending time in nature.
It's about creating your own sacred space.
Exactly. You don't need to physically go somewhere.
To cultivate it within.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those cosmic moments like Jyeshtha Purnima,
Yeah.
think of them as reminders to pause, reflect, and realign with your spiritual goals. You might not be able to perfectly sync up with the solstices, but you can cultivate that same sense of intention and renewal.
At different points in your life.
Exactly. It's about finding those moments of stillness and introspection.
Where we connect to something bigger.
Yes. It's about recognizing the rhythm of life, the ebb and flow of energy, and using that awareness to fuel your spiritual growth.
That's beautiful. So even without the precise rituals, the Brahma Purana offers a blueprint.
For living a more mindful and spiritually connected life.
It's a guide for the inner journey.
But there's one more thing I want to touch on.
Go.
The whole idea of liberation or moksha.
Yes.
What does that actually mean?
Beyond just reaching Vishnu's abode.
Right, because that's where things get really interesting.
They do. Remember, the Brahma Purana puts so much emphasis on self-control, conquering desires and attachments.
Right.
So could it be that true liberation isn't about a physical destination?
But about freeing ourselves from our own mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the real journey.
It's almost like moksha is more about an internal state of being.
Yeah, state of freedom.
Not so much about like arriving somewhere.
Right. It could be about transcending those limitations of the ego,
Okay.
desire, suffering, reaching a state of peace and unity with the divine.
However you understand that.
Exactly. Whether that's Vishnu Brahman or some kind of universal consciousness.
So even the idea of Vishnu's abode, which sounds very like otherworldly,
Yeah.
it could be interpreted symbolically.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not necessarily a literal place.
It could represent a state of pure awareness, free from the constraints of, the physical world and the cycle of birth and death.
That makes the Brahma Purana's focus on self-control and conquering desires make a lot more sense.
Right. It's not just about getting to this place.
It's about the journey.
Yeah, it's about doing the inner work to achieve that liberation, not just relying on external rituals.
So the rituals are almost like practices
Yeah,
to cultivate those qualities.
exactly. Discipline, detachment, devotion.
It's refining our inner landscape.
Making us more receptive to that state of liberation.
It's like creating our own Purushottama Kshetra.
That's a great way to put it.
It's not about a physical place. It's about cultivating that inner sanctuary.
Yes. Where we connect with the divine.
In those moments of Mahashtami, those could be the times when we experience glimpses of that liberated state.
Exactly. Whether through meditation, acts of service.
Even just moments of peace.
Yes. Profound peace and clarity.
We're taking these ancient concepts and making them relevant to our modern lives.
That's what I love about these texts.
Me too.
They offer this timeless wisdom that we can adapt and apply to our own journeys.
It's finding those universal truths.
Yes, the threads that connect us across time and cultures.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Brahma Purana, what's the one thing you hope listeners will really take away from this?
I think it's the reminder that the path to liberation, however you define it, is a journey of both inner and outer transformation.
Yeah.
It's about aligning our actions with our intentions, cultivating self-awareness, and recognizing our connection to something bigger than ourselves.
Beautifully said. It's a reminder that the power to transform our lives really does lie within each of us.
It's waiting to be unlocked.
And who knows, maybe by exploring these ancient practices and philosophies, even metaphorically, we can create our own moments of Mahashtami.
Yes. Glimpses of liberation that illuminate our path and inspire us to keep seeking.
That's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Brahma Purana.
It's been my pleasure. Always a joy to explore these texts.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. We hope you found something to think about, to question, and maybe even something to inspire you on your own path. Until next time, keep exploring, keep seeking, and keep diving deep.